Chapter 8 was called From Physics to Biology. This chapter is primarily about two men, Segre and Pauline, and their huge scientific mistakes. The author, Keen, gives some background on them, then takes a 180 and says that element 43 is the Loch Ness Monster of elements. He then goes to describe how in 1828 and 1846, two German scientists claimed to have discovered element 43. In the end, it was really just impure iridium and niobium. Then in 1896, when Mendeleev finished creating the periodic table, he left the element space 43 empty. In 1909, a man named Ogawa claimed to have discovered the missing element, and though he did discover one, it wasn't 43 as he claimed. In 2004, someone realized that Ogawa actually discovered element 75. Too bad he died before he realized it. Finally, in 1937, Segre and a man, Perrier, borrowed some strips from Lawrence, a man with an atom smasher. On these strips, they discovered element 43. Segre's huge mistake started in 1934, when he and Fermi were bombarding uranium with neutrons. They hastily claimed to have discovered a new element, but in the end they actually induced uranium fission. If only they would have realized they would have been known for creating fission. Instead, fission was thought of and discovered all by females. Yes! Another of Segre's mistakes was yet again his quick assumption of a new element. He declared that the element later named neptunium was a fission product. Macmillan realized he was wrong and it was an element. Then the book jumps to Pauline. Pauline figured out the chemical bonds between atoms. He got the anatomical details correct. He also figured out why snowflakes are six-sided. That's because of the hexagonal structure of ice. Then, in 1952, Pauline, like many others, decided to draw DNA's shape. This is where his big mistake was made. He made it into a triple helix shape. Even after a graduate student checked his work and said it was wrong, Pauline still claimed to have discovered the structure of DNA. Meanwhile, two graduate students, Watson and Crick, were listening to what others would tell them of DNA. That's why they have ears. These two were the ones to make the double helix DNA structure that we use today. I guess that's what Pauline gets for not listening to others. In the end, both scientists accepted defeat and life progressed. Segre winning the Nobel Prize in Physics and Pauline winning the Nobel Prize in Chemistry and Peace. That is the end of Chapter 8. Then the book jumps to Pauline. Pauline figured out the chemical bonds between atoms.